Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your first style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Deadeye, Mercenary. Deadeye. Commando. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Mercenary. Deadeye. Mercenary. Mercenary chosen. Sounds good. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you. Your inner voice, to be precise.
So glad you realize who you really are. Let's keep to the bright and better path moving on.
You can't contradict yourself like that. You made the right choice to begin.
Because you
But remember...
right is always right. Stories of death and the bodies left behind, a reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. Wham! Switched off the lights. Hand up, hand up. Further you go. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death. But some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. All fired up. Close encounter. Right where it cuts. First. emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed. Including you. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we... Locked, but good. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Quite a shock to the system. Let's try that again. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Flash the slash. Slice and dice. Sharp steel. Goodbye. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his... He does... The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had... It's a scar. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Mumas... After the... Had it not been... Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He... The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. The Nono's key energy is just what the... You'll need a net. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the Pensai tree. Oh, it'll need a... But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you can all... He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. That... He lost you there. The tree started to die when the end of days begun. And it wasn't... The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse, the toxinol... His friend Gizmo is working on a mekton and needs help defeating the jumbo puff at the end of the west route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the merc puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the northwest route. Noko has tamed the midget and is preparing to take on the hoof puff at the end of the east route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. His friends have prepared something specific for each World Eater, the Mekton. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the world. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive.
Selalu talanya au subtitle.
He worries there won't be much left to save if this can... Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be...
That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light?
Not as much as it hurts.
Always making this...
And you're always...
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Regardless of who you choose, the Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out-of-Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe Sifus, Jagni especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least He'll be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Regardless, you'll meet again once. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded. You've already drained yourself. It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded. Took care of it. That's going to leave a mark. Absolutely drained. Shot. Swoo. You might want to fall back. Chop it up. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone. That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war.
Fruit banana bag tabuk fruit balloon.
Sibi? Lapanan aging kalman. Gerat na falo hutut agwaremba. Galata fole. Fale wala papa. Get out fole vasine habele.
But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the...
Kalo, lo sekada bodo. Lapanan aging kalman. Get out fole vasine habele.
He's convinced.
Schleine forrotna mika. Get a gedink mustankant. Platz.
The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for...
All the goose are gonna hate Sibi.
The Sifu says it's...
Get a one thing, Sibi.
Says there has to be some dark so that light can prove its purity above it, and promises this will happen if you help them unite the tribes, defeat the World Eaters, and save the Tree of Life. He had a feeling you'd say that, and it's too bad. He thinks you should reconsider and follow your heart instead of your mind. Otherwise he'll have no choice but to treat you as a rival. He offers you to return and take your place at his side. And with that, he urges you to seek protection at Jagni's Stick Fort as soon as you can. He won't be able to guarantee... Goodbyes are not forever. They're not the end. He assures... Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurled. You look ready. You're low on health. Hot metal. Right in the face. You don't have it in you right now. Blasting everything to bits. Carving it up. Finders keepers. Getting jacked. You're looking sturdy. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. Let's see. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Says just because you've made time to meet the Sifu doesn't mean he...
Zata is the moi totloho. Kariesne statse. Ite reki.
He welcomes you to the Jagni fort.
Zivot totloho. Nestatsne okoni.
The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. He's referring to your rampage through Bunker 101. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can... Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them. It'll cost bruises and broken bones. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen.
Ira apinosko. Zenakas zoom ilem dat na list stari dat.
Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu for control of their territory, tribe weapon, and kin.
Osikali, ya put na list stari dat. O visoko dulatsi ni
Seeing
odlisen in your way. Skuni igi zanarach. Vlada novi yeti rikli apinosko. Zenakas people snatste.
anyway, you'll pass your old village on your way to the first rival outpost.
Na zenakas people.
Cackles about how you and the Jagni tribe are going to... The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort. Altitude can't stop you. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. He says, that wasn't too bad, was it? Wait, but you need practice. Lots of practice. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn. Judging by your Muma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. You should know. Practice makes perfect. She'll see you at the village square. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He wonders what usefulness you found. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He understands. It looks like she's starting to lose. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you. She wants you to grow up and start You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her. They look determined. Better watch. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you'll have to. She asks if you're hurt. What happened? If confidence is silent and insecure, it's time to focus on your training now. Here's someone.
Joskaba.
Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face.
Uveng amanka. Lech.
He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training.
Kukakwana.
He'll talk to her.
Kaffee.
He's... He's curious to see what you found.
Hoje esku kidlo. Vatsa u intabadal.
He can work wonders with pretty much...
Sem
Think some up.
mishako her. Zöni nenaftönen. Jamakuda hore datunka.
The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you.
Zeda in evasilnet.
You should take it with you.
Vetze mustakabala no kondonash.
Arialoche nui mumera.
Your Muma says,
Antoro.
hopes you're as...
Antoro. Tukopala. Kanoruta. Asadurutu.
But there's enough time left for repetition and you need it. Train...
Aplitonumuta. Pialtuma.
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Pendnam pendrinesenema. Ruemuktono. Ansonbara.
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it.
Asadurutu.
Catchy.
Gendrana mala.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus.
Asadu tatekoba pendrinesenema.
It's called an automaton.
Ignavaldu narolute.
Your Muma says you look tired.
Ignavaldu.
Rest and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupin from setting the world on fire.
Antoro. Kensi. Kenonu.
Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Pendnampusa.
Your Muma says this is it. The time has come. She must fight Lupa Lupin. This time there's no escape. She can hear him come.
Monidas andro. Kanyal ignavaldu.
She tells you to stay back. This is...
Volacamundru.
Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where... You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff Hulk was on the loose.